My name is Varla Jean Merman, star of stage and screen. But just 1 second here. Can't be too careful. Can't be too careful. Ooh, now my kisses taste like white linen, yes. Well, I want to be the first to wish you a good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, is it too early? Oh, no, come on, you're in Vegas. It's never too early. And it's never too early to maybe see a cute, furry butt. Oh, yes. How about this? This is baby Jasper. He's now in my show. Yes, so sometimes I call him Mommy's little tax write-off. Yeah, and guess what? Only one of us still has our testicles. Yeah. And speaking of cute, furry butts and testicles, I would love to now announce. Give it up for Mark and Dustin. Come on, boys, take it away. What? It's Vegas.
Yeah, she is fantastic.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today a little bit about tapping into our culture bearers. I'm Dustin Woehrmann, CEO of Communify, and then Mark Romig.
Mark Romig with New Orleans & Company, which is the CVB for the New Orleans tourism industry. And we have been in existence since the early 60s, and we have 67 people on our staff that market and sell New Orleans to the world. A lot of people have asked us today, throughout the weekend, how are we doing in New Orleans and South Louisiana over the recent Hurricane Ida, which was a Cat 4. In some places it became a Cat 5 storm. And it really devastated a lot of what we know as the coast area of the state, along with the southwestern portion, and then going up a little bit into the northwest. New Orleans actually fared fairly well. The levee system, which was created after Hurricane Katrina, did its job. And so the city of New Orleans is coming back fully repowered. In fact, we're starting our marketing in our regional markets beginning tomorrow. We'll be talking to potential visitors to come back into the city. The restaurants are open, the museums are open, all the attractions, and the hotel inventory is there. We've got 26,000 hotel rooms within that 1.5-mile radius of the Superdome. So we're inviting people back, but we're also doing what we can do to help our neighbors in our neighboring parishes to return, because it'll take some time for them. So if anybody wants to help, come to the city of New Orleans. We can put you to work, but also give you a good plate of food every now and then as well. So New Orleans, it has a wonderful history, 303 years old, or would like to say 303 years young as a city. And it has an amazing history, gay history, LGBTQ history that dates back decades. And we're very proud of it, and it's something that we have recently discovered as a way for us to really pay homage to that history, but also serve an important community, and by doing so, serve the city itself, and help spread the word that New Orleans is a most welcoming city. Several years ago, when I was with an organization called the New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, we were marketing the city, we thought appropriately, and I'll tell the story. We can go to the next slide. Tell the story of how we were doing it. We thought we were doing it the right way, and I've been married since 2012, but with my husband since 1989. And so I thought I knew everything there was to know about being gay and how to market. And so we just had that rainbow flag on every page of the website. We just said, we got this covered. No, we didn't have it right. We were fortunate to come across Dustin and his organization, and we brought them in and asked them to give us the honest truth about how to do this appropriately. And even a gay guy didn't get it right. We had to bring other gay people in to do it right. And Dustin immediately did an audit of all of our marketing. And now we will tell you that story of how we have progressed since, I think it was 2014,
Yeah,
2015?
2014.
Take it away.
I lived in the city for a few years before I even realized that we had these amazing gay Mardi Gras balls, like this whole underground, side of New Orleans. People, think about the parades and the typical New Orleans Mardi Gras, but there's all this other really amazing.
Yeah, we're
stuff
talking
there.
70 years of history as these underground gay organizations got together to express themselves, and obviously they were having trouble with the authorities back then, and some were raided and closed down, but we just celebrated Crew of Armenia's 50 years that they've had a successive ball each and every year. So it was alive and kicking, but we weren't talking about it.
Right. I put this slide up just quickly to talk about some of the reasons why we're doing this. This work, it's super important. You've seen some of these stats before. 52% of 13 to 20-year-olds identify on the spectrum between straight and gay. Only 2% of ads depicted at least one LGBTQ character. And then 64% said that they took an action after seeing an ad that was diverse or inclusive. So we know that this work is incredibly important. We know that our city offers a really vibrant community and a great experience for people who come. Oops, let me go back. And so the way that we started it was immediately by putting together an LGBTQ advisory group. It was literally the first thing we did when after the audit. And it consists of our Pride organization, different members of the community, anyone in hospitality. We have people from Crescent Care, which is like our HIV medical facility, clinic. We had people from our different, from Tulane, and the group came together. They meet quarterly. This group's been going for 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah, like-minded, straight gay people who were invested in the community and wanted to see it improve and see the image of New Orleans improve. And so, to Dustin's credit, we came together, we pulled together a group of people who were pulling on the same side of the rope every day of the week.
And the great thing about this group is it's helped every time we have a need. We have a reporter coming into town and they want to put together some ideas. We're able to reach out to this group and pull together some really great content or people to meet up with. We've done initiatives with sister cities, or when Pulse happened, we sent a big fleur-de-lis down there that had been signed by the community, and then the mayor actually came to New Orleans with one of the survivors, and we put them on as part of Mardi Gras.
Right, and when they moved the Final Four to New Orleans from Charlotte several years ago, NOHA was also part of that welcoming group, and we welcomed the leaders of the NCAA and thanked them for providing us the opportunity to show how inclusive the city was.
Yep.
This was a most recent event that occurred. Some of you may have heard that we had a hotel under construction collapse, the Hard Rock Hotel, a couple of years back, and it shut down a good portion of the downtown area where the streetcar tracks are going up and down Rampart Street. And along that corridor are opportunities for us to salute conventions and associations that are coming to town with these banners. Dustin, through his efforts and the local community, pulled together the opportunity to salute our Pride celebration, and actually had the city of New Orleans support us placing the rainbow flag banners up and down that the pole area, and involving the coming back of the streetcar, but also the importance of us demonstrating this support from the city of New Orleans. Back in the early 90s, the city had passed an ordinance that recognized domestic partners, and it's always been on the forefront, and we're very happy with the current support that we get from the City Council and Mayor LaToya Cantrell, as we have from previous mayors, and this is just another way to demonstrate how they are supporting what we're doing.
Yep.
So let's have a little fun with some videos.
Yeah, we got some videos. So this was literally, this was a 3-part general campaign shoot that was happening. We started working together, and we started the conversation about how can we start to get our culture bearers and our queer community into this work.
Let them see themselves. It was important for us to not only just hire actors, no, let's cast real members of the community and let them help express themselves, and in doing so, market New Orleans to a broader community, that this was a place to be and you could see yourself in the activity.
So this was one of those spots.
Jamie wanted a taste of the real New Orleans, and we just couldn't say no to that face. Then we wanted more of that local flavor, so Betty says, Oh yeah, that's Betty. You're gonna want to do this alligator thing. And Betty didn't lead us wrong. A little later, we passed some dancing. And who doesn't like dancing? Especially when it's followed by fireworks. Everyone's NOLA is different. Follow yours.
So that was one of our Mardi Gras crews.
Yeah,
and
and the interesting thing is that the whole idea of follow your NOLA was to ask people to come into the city of New Orleans and discover their own New Orleans. Be that experiential discoverer that not only visited the French Quarter, there's a stat I think that says 90% of the people that come to the city of New Orleans will visit the French Quarter. So other parts of the city were not being given opportunities to be represented along with culture bearers. So the idea was to spread the joy, spread the spending around the city of New Orleans. And we ran this campaign really between 2014 and 2017 up to the time we pivoted to go into the tricentennial year. And again, these are not actors. These are real people who we brought in to represent themselves and also the vibrancy of the city.
And it was very cold that night.
It was very cold that night. I think it was 25 degrees, which is really not a usual weather day in New Orleans. So reverse parade. Imagine the election occurs in 2016. We're going into 2017. There's a lot of not to get political, but there was some concern about what was going to happen to the LGBT community across the United States. But we took advantage of it and were given permission by our superiors to spend some money on demonstrating why New Orleans was such a welcoming city and that we were not going to be deterred from experiencing and expressing ourselves. With Dustin's production capabilities and hiring locals who were in the community, we pulled together something we called the reverse parade. You want to set it up a little bit more than that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, it was, like Mark said, it was a time that everybody was sort of nervous about what was coming next after the election, and we sort of needed a moment to, it was a great moment for us to show that New Orleans was thinking about this, and it really took off. I mean, there was so much earned media.
Mainly a social media campaign, lived on YouTube, lived on our site. It wasn't a commercial against evening news. We pushed it out ourselves and moved it in a very strong way. Yeah, we were very proud of that.
So yeah, the work that we did in those first few years earned us some recognition, at least with our, within the community. The Gay Cities Readers Poll for a couple of years, we came in second to San Francisco. We
were very excited that year. Yes,
city. We're like,
but
yeah.
Take them back to we were at a CMI conference and. I think we weren't even registering.
Prior to this, the year that we started working together, I don't think we wouldn't even show up on these lists. Sometimes Decadence, just because Southern Decadence is such a popular event, sometimes that would show up. But there's been a lot of people talk about this as a long game, and it really is a long game. But we did see some pretty quick. Some results pretty quickly as we jumped into this.
Yeah, and I think our visuals, we were placing lesbian couples and we were placing gay couples, and we were trying to let people see themselves in our advertising as opposed to, faking it, so to speak. And I think it made a huge difference. And to your point, And to the point made earlier this morning, it is a long game. Unfortunately, COVID puts a little crimp in our style, but we'll be back when we get our funding back in a way that we're able to invest more. In the meantime, Dustin gave us lots of good lessons about what the website should look like, how we should make sure that we are identifying appropriately, and it's been a great run.
I think it's really important. A couple of people have said it, but like working with people in the space who understand the space, can really help destinations, kind of like take that next step.
Yeah.
So we have one more. Oh, so how it's going? So we participated. The last really like big event we had was World Pride. We had the largest float in the parade. This is actually one of New Orleans' like famous floats. It actually has a third part, but they wouldn't let us bring the third part. But we still were the biggest.
If you can
even
make
with
it out,
the
it's
two
a
parts.
steamboat.
It's a big steamboat.
Yes.
Yeah. But we invited a lot of the people. We had someone representing our Mardi Gras Indians, and that advisory group that we put together really helped like make sure that we had a nice mix of different people from different areas on the float. And then we also brought we had king cakes shipped in for the event. We had one of our local famous snowball stands actually was at the festival making like true New Orleans snowballs. So we really tried to bring our culture and take it to New Orleans.
And Brian Batt, the actor, rode the float and was somewhat of our
MC.
celebrity and MC.
Yeah, you can kind of see him up there on top by the smokestack.
Yeah.
So we have one more video to show. This was part of this was the last kind of official thing that we created right before, a little bit before COVID, but this was a 5-part series. It was based on a campaign called One Time in New Orleans that was meant to try to get people out of the French Quarter and experiencing different parts of the city. And so we used Varla, who you saw at the beginning, in and out of drag, and meeting up with a bunch of different locals to learn about the city. So we took her on a swamp tour. We took her in a cooking
played
class.
rugby, I think. She also wanted to
played
play some rugby.
but this is one where she takes a music lesson.
So what are your favorite things to do here?
I actually like to do my staycations. I'll go and stay at the Moxie. I take myself out to eat.
Like where?
Willie Mae.
Oh my God.
Dookie Chase.
Ooh.
And then I take tours.
Right here would be the only place where the enslaved Africans would be allowed to meet and play the drums.
I want to take you somewhere and teach you how to play another instrument.
Obviously I'm not that musically inclined. But Varla is.
Okay, no, not that way. No, this way, because you got to, yeah.
I know.
So, okay, no.
Oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm a middle-aged prodigy. Well, I am Varla Jean Merman, and one time in New Orleans,
I taught a man how to find his rhythm.
and I let a lesbian teach me how to blow a trombone.
Thank you.
The great thing about using video, it was a 5-part series. We shot long versions. We shot 1 minute. We did cut downs of 1 minute, 30 seconds. So and they're pretty evergreen. So I mean, that was shot 3 years ago, and it still holds up.
It still
pretty
works.
Well. So just at the end, I kind of wanted to leave you with just a few ideas for people who are just sort of starting to get in. I know we've heard some of this stuff a little bit already, but really tapping into the community, establish an advisory group of people who can help you be authentic and make sure that you're telling the right stories. Work with professionals in the space to help make sure you're doing it the right way. Make your website ADA compliant. Inclusive marketing is more than just more than just LGBT. Diversify your photography.
And I'll take the next one.
Yep.
Rainbow flags are not always a solution.
True. There's many times in these shoots where I would run around and try to take down all the rainbow flags. They can be used in sparingly. Yes.
Right. Appropriate places.
And then seeking out diverse influencers. I don't feel like that's been brought up too much, but really trying to find a diverse mix of people
Yeah,
who can
we've
tell
done
their story.
a lot of work with bringing influencers in, people who specialize in museums or food or seafood or whatever, and we've done I think a number of opportunities where we've brought in LGBTQ influencers who have spoken to their audiences in the pre-planning process, the planning, getting here, and then leaving and talking about it continually. In fact, we have one couple that is coming back next month to be married. Two gentlemen who fell in love with the city, and we've discovered that that's a good way to, as a third-party voice to get the word out about your destination.
And then we'll just leave you with we put together a little guide, inclusive marketing tips, just adds a few more things, so if anybody wants to go.
Yeah, so thank you all for letting us
thank you.
speak with you today, and anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
I see that you put out a lot of video and you're doing all these things to promote New Orleans, but have you used LGBT media as a platform or a vehicle to get that narrative out? Because I haven't seen a lot.
No, you haven't seen much recently basically because of our budgeting. We pulled back tremendously since March of 2020. Our planning would be to get back into all titles and across all elements of our media as we go into 2022.
We have done partnerships though with Q Digital quite a bit, and a little bit with Pride, but it's been a while.
Yeah, in fact, because of what we had to go through, we had to separate ourselves from our agency contracts, a number of them in March of 2020, but we're hoping to re-engage as soon as we can. Anybody else?
Awesome, thank you all.
Yeah, another question from DJ.
You said you use LGBT media, LGBT influencers. Do you go to a single point to find them?
We have an agency, we work with Dentsu 360i. They've got a very strong division that helps us identify. They normally will bring us a number of candidates, and we look at audiences and who's following and what they're used to doing. And then it's almost like a selection process. And so we've been working with them, and through Dustin's agency, we've been able to work as well and identify the appropriate ones.